Joe Biden has had another hellish week of gaffes and mishaps that are sending his approval rating through the floor. If you thought the US president's gaffes couldn't get any worse than his recent cannibal disaster, think again. Joe Biden has had another run-in with a teleprompter that's making headlines across the globe.
4 more years. Pause.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
Sky News All-Stars James Morrow, Rita Panahi and Liz Storer take a look at President Biden's most recent humiliation. Joe Biden is no stranger to battles with the teleprompter, but his latest struggle is one of his worst, with Sky News All-Star James Morrow comparing the president to fictional character Ron Burgundy.
Wow. Well, Joe Biden has certainly had a shocker this week. The mask has dropped on just how far gone he seems to be, and in the process, it's revealed how much the president is now little more than an empty suit who reads the lines. Not that he's even totally capable of that. Indeed, like the fictional San Diego anchorman Ron Burgundy, well, he'll read whatever is put in front of him. Pause.
Ron Burgundy will read anything that is put on that teleprompter. And when I say anything, I mean nah.
Imagine what we can do next. 4 more years. Pause.
4 more years. 4 more years. 4 more years.
For the last time, anything you put on that prompter, Burgundy will read.
Continue reading script. Anyway, I say stay classy, Joe Biden.
Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi went a step further, digging up the White House transcript.
No, Joe, you don't read out the instructions, but look at the official White House transcript of that speech where they claim what he said was inaudible. We all heard it. He said, pause.
4 more years. Pause.
4 more years.
And Sky News commentator Tim Blair hilariously poked fun at Joe Biden over the gaffe, calling him demented.
Once more, Tim, though, 4 more years pause. That again is truth in advertising.
Yeah, it really is, Chris, comma. It's apostrophe S. A really troubling situation when the leader of the free world, cap F, cap W, is so absolutely and totally demented, full stop, close quote.
And as bad as that gaffe was, it's far from the only cognitive issue Joe Biden has had in recent times. Joe Biden muddled himself up with his opponent, resulting in a very unfortunate own goal.
And that wasn't the only Biden gaffe.
In a sense, I don't know why we're surprised by Trump. How many times does he have to prove we can't be trusted?
And Joe Biden just won't give up on that cannibal lie, retelling the story of his late uncle 3 times in 24 hours and adding a new lie on top, with serious consequences, reveals James Morrow.
And of course, when he is not on script, Biden goes well off script. Last week, he falsely claimed on more than one occasion that his good old Uncle Bozy was shot down over Papua New Guinea in World War II and was subsequently devoured by cannibals. Okay. This week, he's made up a new claim. Breaker 19er, before he became president, it turns out Joe Biden was a long-haul trucker.
Besides, I used to drive an 18-wheeler. You know what I did? That's exactly right.
That's right, good buddy. Little known fact, but the Biden family fortune was made when Joe drove a truckload of Coors to Atlanta on a bet, inspiring the classic Burt Reynolds film Smokey and the Bandit. Just kidding, Media Watch. But, of course, this is all fun and games until it isn't. You see, when the White House is rudderless, well, a couple of things can happen. One is that an unelected cabal of swamp dwellers takes control of the ship and behind-the-scenes drive policy. This is actually probably not far from what is going on when it comes to many elements of America's foreign policy.
And it's not only cognitive decline that's afflicted the president. Joe Biden appeared in Tampa, Florida last week, where he attempted to shake hands with an invisible person. Biden also appeared confused and frail, struggling to feed himself at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. All of these gaffes and struggles have forced the Democrats to do something, with Sky News reporter Carolyn Marcus suggesting the party has changed up Joe Biden's routine in a bid to hide him and his deterioration.
As the 2024 US presidential election draws closer, there's increasing concerns about Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Well, it's now being suggested a change in his routine is an effort to hide him from reporters. In the past, the president has typically made the walk from the White House to his helicopter solo or with some of his family members, but suddenly he's being accompanied by a large group of staffers. The reason? Some are speculating it's to hide his shuffling walk from the media. Now, Holly, you know what it's like in politics. Is this a strategic decision? Does it look like a cover-up to you?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think it's fair to assume someone had a discussion and thought we can probably cover this up a little bit. We can make sure that we've got someone there just in case he trips up the stairs again, you know, someone to catch him or fall over. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me. The guy's 81. He's the eldest president that's ever held the office. He's going for re-election.
And the public are starting to catch on. Biden has experienced steep declines in his approval ratings, with his opponent Donald Trump outpacing him in the lead up to the November election, says Sky News All-Star Liz Storer.
Have a look at this clip from NBC. Journalists trying to explain why Joe Biden is not as popular as he used to be. It's really got them concerned. Have a watch.
Look at these numbers. Trump advantages on all of these traits.
And I stop here because competent and effective, that was President Biden's, the crux of his campaign pitch back in 2020.
And we actually polled this question in 2020, and it was basically the exact opposite. It was Biden with about a 10-point advantage over Trump. And again, same with handling a crisis. Biden had the edge over Trump. And how about this? It's the former president, the current president. We don't really see matchups like this. Well, now we can measure it. Who has the strong record as president? And again, Trump outpacing Biden on that front. And again, you got to mention this one too, necessary mental and physical health. We asked this 4 years ago. It was a wash. It's now a clear liability for Joe Biden. So these are all troubling numbers for Biden.
Liz, they're asking the wrong questions. If they were asking which candidate is the most corrupt, Biden would have a 100-point lead.
He won. He'd win one aspect on one merit. But I just love this, that here is, these guys give Biden a tongue bath every day of the week, but they get this poll. The results are undeniable, and it's just like, they're talking about it like it's revelatory. I just can't believe these results. And you're like, really? Where have you been the last almost 4 years, living under a rock? I love it. And especially that Trump was, 46-25 there with regard to his physical and mental capacity. Nobody is buying it anymore. Everyone is just like, this is a senile old man who couldn't find his car in a 3-tiered parking lot. Get him into an old people's home, make him a warm Milo. This is elder abuse, and the vast majority of Americans are well aware of that now, as that poll shows.
And those numbers show why the Democrats are intent on prosecuting Donald Trump. We're going to